How much does an elopement cost? How many hours of photography coverage do I need? What are the best locations? Where do I even start with the planning? Today we're going over the top 5 questions that I get all the time when it comes to eloping. Stay tuned. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel, the #1 space for creators, entrepreneurs, and elopers. For those of you who are new here, my name is Mariah with Mariah Thill Photography. I'm a professional photographer and videographer based in Austin, Texas. For the best content all about destination elopements, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified every single week when I make a new video. So today we are going over all things destination elopements. I took to Instagram and asked you guys, what are your biggest questions about planning your elopement and making your big day happen in the best way you could ever dream of? First, before we get into that, I want to go over really quickly what exactly is an elopement. So elopements used to be seen as something secretive when a couple wanted to get hitched, get married, go elope, not tell the family and keep it hush hush. Nowadays, it has completely changed into something else. Elopements nowadays are really small, intimate weddings. Most of the time, you'll find them in extremely awesome locations with a very small guest count. So I've seen elopements from having no guests at all the way to about 10, maybe 15 guests. It's really flexible just depending upon what the couple wants. Elopements are much cheaper than big, large weddings. And you can also tend to find them in exotic destination locations with a really strong emphasis around photography and videography. Okay, so the #1 question I get all the time, how much does an elopement cost? And I'm gonna give you guys rough numbers just because everyone's elopement looks so different. So I've seen elopements that range anywhere from costing a few $1,000s all the way to about $15,000. Just to give you a couple numbers, the average wedding in the US is about, I think it was $34,000, which is outrageous. I mean, that is like literally a down payment on a house. So I think that's why we're seeing this big shift into people wanting to elope. Especially with the current state of the world, a lot of people are more willing to give up those high guest counts and just go elope somewhere extremely amazing and share the pictures with their friends and family at home. So keep in mind that your pricing is going to be very largely determined upon your location. For example, someone who elopes in Maui, the price for florals is going to be different, the price for photography is going to be different, along with videography, officiant. Everything is determined upon the local market in your destination. So if we compare an elopement in Maui, it's obviously going to cost a lot more than a simple elopement in your non-destination hometown. It really just depends on location. Another thing with destination elopements is you have to take into consideration travel and the time of year that you're traveling. If I were to elope in Maui in peak wedding season, which is like September, October, or like May, those are really big wedding months. Those months are typically a little bit busier with weddings, so the cost of a wedding you're gonna see is just a little bit higher than if you were to elope, let's say in January, which is a really slow season for Maui. You might be able to find deals for not only travel rates, but lodging and your vendors as well. Question #2, how much does elopement photography cost? Great question. This will vary from photographer to photographer, and the things that are going to be taken into consideration to determine a photographer's pricing are the following: location, experience, and how many hours the photographer will be there overall. To give you a good idea of my pricing, my introductory package for a 2-hour simple local elopement is anywhere around $1,400. And my most popular package, which is pretty much for destination elopements, it is all-day coverage and it is so much fun. Plus you get all the bells and whistles like medals to be printed and shipped directly to your house. Lots of other goodies too. Is anywhere around $4,400. If you ask me, that's a pretty good price if all you really have to pay is your travel fees, your lodging, and your photographer. And flowers, let's not forget that. #3, how many hours do I need for my elopement? This depends on a lot of variables, but I typically recommend don't go lower than 2 hours for any like small, simple elopements. For for a more like adventure style destination elopement, 6 hours is kind of that sweet mark because it accounts for like travel time, any hiking time to get to your spot, rest spots, and doing kind of candid coverage during those times. So 6 hours is kind of like my favorite. And sometimes for adventure elopements, we do 2 locations. So 6 hours definitely accounts for going to location 1 and getting all the shots that we need, and then capturing those candid moments in between location 1 and 2, and then doing all the stuff at location 2. And overall, it takes about, let's say, 6 hours. Plus, you want to have some fun too, right? I think the best thing about adventure elopements is simply being present within the day. There's no rush. You know, we take our time, we're having fun doing things like hiking and laughing and cheersing to each other and taking snack breaks and eating trail mix. So if that's something that sounds like fun to you, it sounds like an adventure elopement might be more your style. But that leads me to my next question. Can my family come to my elopement? Which is a great question because yes, your family can come to your elopement. If this is something that is very valuable to you and you want your family to be there to experience this with you and your partner, I personally feel like it's really important to make sure that those special people are present. Taking that into consideration, you want to then think about your location. So if you really want grandma and grandpa to be at your elopement, having an elopement in a national park that requires a 6-mile hike in might not be the best idea. Now, with that being said, this is your day and you should do it your way. So don't listen to people if they tell you, oh, elopements mean that you can't have any family members. That's just simply not true. I've had tons of elopements before with family members present. So a lot of my couples, I've asked them, you know, why did you choose an elopement? What made you make this decision? Most of them tell me that they chose an elopement simply because it was the more economical option, along with the fact that it's more intimate, and they just weren't really about having a big extravagant day, which I can respect because I feel like personally I'm more of an elopement style person as well. So the thought of having like a 250 person wedding is absolutely outrageous to me. However, as a photographer, I'm like, absolutely, yes, 250 people, we are going to get the best dance floor photos. But, you know, everybody has their own style, and I think that it's really important for you and your partner to sit down and really determine what are your most important things to the both of you for your wedding day. And that should be a really big help with determining if an elopement is right for you. Now, with that being said, if you still need a photographer for your wedding or for your elopement, I'm putting in the link down below links to my website so that you can inquire if you would like to work together. Okay, and basically it's going to take you to my website page. You will inquire and tell me all the wonderful details about your day, and then we will hop on a Zoom call and get to know each other face to face. I will ask you a ton of questions, and if it's a good fit for the both of us, then we will go over pricing and what I think will be the best package for you. Now, back to the questions. Do I need to have an officiant present at my elopement? And the answer is a little tricky. It's going to depend state by state. You want to do this research before, but typically what I find is that most of my couples will go and do the official paperwork at the courthouse prior to our adventure elopement. That means that, you know, they're officially legally married, let's say 3 days before or something like that. And then once we meet up to go on our adventure elopement, that is their official date for when they get married, when they recite their vows to each other, and when it is more of like that special day in their heart for their anniversary and stuff like that. Now, I also think that the biggest reason why a lot of my couples tend to choose this option is because a lot of officiants won't go to those destination spots that you're looking for. So for example, if you want to get married by a waterfall in Hana, that sounds amazing and I will go there. I'm willing to go pretty much anywhere, but a lot of officiants aren't really down to do a hike in the mud to a destination spot and all the things that come along with adventure elopements. If you were wanting an officiant at your ceremony, try and pick a location that's not too far off the beaten path that people will be okay to travel to, and hopefully they won't charge you a travel fee also. Okay, last question on Instagram. Now that you're based on the mainland again, what locations are you going to be manifesting for 2021? I love this question. And it makes me really excited because I literally just wrote down the other day all the destination elopement locations that I want to bring in for 2021 2021. So here we go. Locations that I want to shoot at in 2021 for elopements specifically are Yosemite, Sedona, Joshua Tree, Grand Canyon, White Sands, New Mexico, Zion National Park, Arches National Park, Grand Teton, Yellowstone National Park, and I'm sure the list is going to continue because now that I'm back here, like on the mainland, I am so pumped to just explore again. I love Maui so much and I have explored so much of that island, but to have that sense of adventure and excitement again is so motivating. So 2021, your girl's coming for you, adventure elopement style. Okay, so these were the main questions that I saw reoccurring on my Instagram. If there's a question that you have that I didn't answer, please comment down below and I would love to help you out with planning your destination elopement or any questions you might have about eloping. I know it can be really overwhelming, but I feel like even though I'm not necessarily a planner as a photographer, we do have a really big hand in the planning as well. Especially most of my clients, like because I'm normally one of the only vendors that they have to book, let's say, we work so closely together to plan pretty much a majority of their wedding except the legality part of it. So, you know, drop a comment down below, let me know. Connect with me on Instagram, here is my handle. Follow me, and if you still need a photographer, like I said, shoot me an inquiry. Let's get on Zoom and get you on the books. Okay, and lastly, you guys, it would mean so much to me if you gave this video a thumbs up and let me know down below if you liked the video and you want to see more content like this. Subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every single week when I make a new video. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I will see you next week. Bye.